Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. It's time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. We're going to take our snowplow for one more drive here, and we're going to be taking the train that we just left at Newton Stewart, I believe it was. Let's just double check that. Was it Newton Stewart? Yeah, Newton Stewart. So we're going to take the train that we left at Newton Stewart. We're going to resume the journey, leaving the siding and heading out onto the main line for the rest of the trip to Dunragit. There's only another one or two stations along the way, so there's not much more to really look at along the route, but we are going to at least get to Dunragit. We've already seen to Ayr, and that'll pretty much give us a look at the entire route in these four scenarios. And this is our introductory look at the route outside of those Christmas scenarios once again. So let's take this ice cream train or this milk train, the milk tanks. We're going to go to the creamery at Dunragit. We're probably going to unhook them, and then we're going to go have a coffee or something. I don't know. Let's get started. The weather has cleared, so this should be a straightforward trip down to Dunragit. You should leave the station area when the departure ground signal clears. However, you will be held at the west signal box, as a stopping passenger service from Dumfries is booked to get away ahead of us. Expect to be stationary for about 10 minutes. Frowny face. Okay. The train leaving, by the way, is a service to Stranraer town. So it's not going to the harbor, it's going to the town. And there it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting our train ready. I'm just going to stay outside the cab because we can't go anywhere yet. So the reversal is just going to go up to full blast. So when we're ready to go, we can go full blast. There goes a pilot train. So we're going to take a look at him in just a second. It is listed as the Newton Stewart pilot. My brakes did not want to come off at all. Let's look at what this train's up to, actually. The signalman is called over. We have to take an extra wagon to Dunragit due to weather-related problems elsewhere. Proceed to the signal held at danger, ensuring that the train clears the signal behind, protecting access to platform 3. Then reverse to collect the wagon in the platform. Okay, we're going to do what we can here. So we're going to try to approach the signal and hopefully not have to pass it. That is ideal. I might be passing it. You can't request to not pass it, apparently, so trust me, I tried it already, and you can't request to pass this signal. Don't stop yet. So that is the signal up there. We must stop before this signal. Now, it's possible that we could be using the ground signal, but I think the ground signal refers to the other track. So we're going to treat this as a red signal that it looks like. I'm going to get myself within literally an inch of it. There we go. That's a foot, but we'll take it. Just a quick look at the map to confirm that we have cleared. And we have just cleared. There's not a lot of room, but we have just cleared the signal. It is doable, and we can pick up our wagon that is now back here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to back up. We're going to head in that direction, taking the brake off as we get ready to back up. So I'm going to wait for the brakes to release a little bit. Let's give a little puff of regulator here. I'm hearing noises, by the way. Might be my train, actually. So looking at the back of the train now, we are going to go ahead and proceed. Not get decapitated by a bridge. That would be nice today. Going to start putting some brakes on to bring the train down to a slower speed. We don't want to come into the platform at 12 miles per hour when we're picking up a wagon. More brake power again because we're getting close to the wagon. Might be coming a little fast, actually. We got it, though. Proceed when you get a clear departure signal. Let's check the front of our train. Jerk! Well, we're going to be here for a while, guys. That is now my signal. Like, let me just take a quick look at the front of the train here to confirm. Yeah, that is definitely my signal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up just a wee bit more. The reason I'm going to back up a wee bit more is so that I can then move forward and get that signal as my indicate on the head down below. So excuse the little shuffling I'm going to do here for a moment. Just pulled the regulator down because the steam wasn't going anywhere, but it might still be in the pipe. So when the brake comes off, I'm probably going to move. There it is. Regulator's off. I'm still moving. Look at that, kids. Okay, so now I'm going to move the reverser into forward because I don't want to pass the signal that's behind me, obviously. That's a bad idea to pass that signal. I'm not going that way. It's further down, but, you know, it's back there. So let's get back outside the cab. We're going to go forward just a tiny tad here. And now let's go ahead and get this train stopped again. All right, I'm waiting here for a while. I'll see you when we get moving, guys. Back with you at Newton Stewart Station, platform number 3. We still have a red signal. We're up to 9 minutes now of our 10-minute waiting time we were told to expect. Why 10 minutes? Well, this is why right here. Once this train that left ahead of us gets into Kirkcowan, we're going to be cleared to proceed, but only when it gets to Kirkcowan. So we're basically stationary here until it gets in. And the reason that happens is because there's no other signals on the line. We're only going to have the one signal. This is all one big signal block over here. It's all one big, huge signal block. Now, interestingly, you're going to notice there's a red here at the station. We'll talk about that later. This one's probably going to clear to let the train into platform 2, because I think it's coming into platform 2 being on the left. So once it passes this signal, it should clear. Once it's fully past the signal, and that signal turns red to not allow a train into that block, we should get our green. So let's look for our green now. There it is. Just you saw on the map that it was turning red, I came back just in time to see this one turn green. So we are good to go at a speed limit of 25 miles per hour at this time. We are going to do that. If we go back to the map, you can see that the train has made its way into the station. And it might be staying there. Or it might be making a stop moving on. Well, it'll do whatever it wants to do. We don't care. It's going to do whatever it wants to do. Now, the signal we were not allowed to request to pass earlier, that signal is now the one that is not on our track. So basically, by backing up into Newton Stewart 3, we no longer have to worry about that signal. Thankfully, I didn't cross 15 miles per hour yet, so I'm not speeding. So we don't have to worry about this signal anymore. We're just clear to go on track number 3. And we're going to proceed on track number 3. From platform 3, I mean. It's not track number 3. I guess I made that part up without realizing it. If we had continued on this track, we would have been on a 15 on this track the entire time anyway, but now we can go right to 40 having been on this track from the very beginning. So we don't have to worry about staying at 15. We can go to full speed at this point. Which is fantastic. We can see what looks like a train on the track up ahead here of some form. That is the pilot. Remember the pilot we saw at the start of the scenario? This is him. He was probably waiting for our track, and just for giggles, I'm going to go back and check on him after we get moving. So I want to see if he actually does something else at the station. For right now, we're going to go ahead and enjoy our journey here. So where is that Newton Stewart train? We're going to find out. It was not that one. It's still at the station. Something could be wrong up there. So we're going to head back to where I am. Not speeding, good. And maybe he is staying there. I don't know. He could be just sitting there. That could, because we don't see him anymore, that could be the end of the scenario for him. So his scenario is over. Success! Maybe. Stopped at 2 locations, connected 4 wagons. Congratulations, you win. Did it perfectly too, I tell you. Okay, we're going to bring the reverser down a little bit more because we can get a more refined steam usage here. So if you bring that, this is a thing that I figured out when I was working on Falmouth Branch on that one huge uphill. I figured out that when you're reducing your reverser, you want to just reduce it down gradually because you're going to have a much better steam output the slower you take the reverser down. So notice I'm stuck at 34.6 right now. When I just started going up to 35 because I brought the reverser down a smidge. So I'm currently at 30% reverser. This might be the butter zone where it's fine at this point, but if you get it down to like 55, you're going to get a better output going at 55 reverser than you will at 30 reverser when you're at a lower speed. So this was how I eventually managed to climb that hill at Falmouth Branch, by having higher reverser figures. And those higher reverser figures eventually allowed me to build up more speed early, which allowed me to get up the hill at a faster rate, because I wasn't being slowed down as much by the hill. So it actually worked out, and I still can't believe we had to make that hill in so little time, but that's one way we got around it. So it wasn't a big deal in the end. We managed to get up there and finish the scenario with lots of time on the other stops. So that tells me the mechanics of how that train worked on the hills did change at some point from the release of the game. So technically that scenario, I think, was broken by that change, but thankfully it is still barely doable. Now I think if I remember correctly, it is a standard scenario, so it should be possible to edit the timing on that yourself anyway. But I knew I could get it. I knew I could get it and I wanted to get it. I'm going to try and figure out why I'm not making any more speed. Oh, I think I do need to have 33 on this. Okay. I think it's just the uphill grading that's killing me. The uphill grading is slowing me down at this point. I was already going to 60, wouldn't be a problem. Mind you, I don't think I can go 60. What is the limit of this train? Manuel, where's the Manuel? Oh, I already had it open. Beautiful. As I now talk while I'm doing my iPad without you seeing my iPad. Like, the manual does not say what speed you're limited at, and I haven't seen any indication of what speed we're limited at. But I believe the limit is probably 55 miles per hour, and the reason I'm saying that is because speed limiter is in effect, but the top speed of the line is 60 miles per hour. If the speed limiter... Let me try that again. If the speed limit was not 60 miles per hour, or theoretically higher, it might be a 70 somewhere, but if it was not 60 miles per hour, then, and actually it is 70 towards Stranraer town, so yeah. But if it was not 60, then we would be basically would have no point to the speed limit. Or if it was 60 rather, we wouldn't have any point to the speed limiter. So it has to be a speed lower than that. And things like that usually happen with numbers divisible by 5. So 55 is the next number down from 60 in that sense. And I think that's what it is. I think that 55 is the limit. So I'm going to treat 55 as the limit here. Of course, if I go beyond it, then I'll be able to show you what happens when you do go past that as well. I'm just trying to control my speed right now, because I don't want to go too far past it if I do that. There's a 55 coming up anyway, so I've hit 55. I'm still within the area where the game would treat it as legal, because I can go 1 kilometer over. Because the 55 coming up, I'm just going to go ahead and let things go. We might get another chance later to do this, so I'm not going to worry too much about it for right now. Now, a little note on the end of the last scenario. Palnur apparently is not on this route. Let's go back to Newton Stewart for a moment. I'll show you what I mean. Palnur is the station that was open on the pilot is still there. Palnur is the station that was open on the line. It was actually located to the east of where we are now at Newton Stewart. If we go back, I don't think Palnur is here. There's another siding. Palnur would have to be in this area somewhere, I believe. There's the Creamery Viaduct. And I take that back. There's Palnur platform. I guess for some reason it is closed on this route. It's not shown as a station on this route. It's showing as an orange strip. Now, according to the information I'm finding, Palnur Station closed with the route in 1965. If that is not accurate, someone please correct me. But according to the information I have, when the line closed completely... Actually, you know what? I will take that back. Sorry. I just checked my information again. The station did close. I misread because the info box had that line closed completely line, which I'm not used to seeing. It opened in 1861, but it closed in 1951. And in this iteration of the route, I guess it's in the 50s or in the 60s right before the Beaching Acts. And there was another station that closed in 63 that is still replicated. So it would have to be somewhere between 1951 and 1963, the period where this route is based. That's the logical conclusion, somewhere in that 12-year period. This is further confirmed by the fact that scenarios on the route, some scenarios on the route, have dates as far back as 1953, which means Palnur would have been closed by then. And another station I mentioned in the previous scenario, I can't remember what it is now offhand, but that station would still be open because it closed in 1963. So, yeah, the 12-year period is what I believe we're working with on this route. We have a 25 up ahead. So you're going to probably wonder what's going on that we have a 25 up ahead. You would imagine we would have been radioed saying that we're going to be following onto a junction, because the train driver would have probably no way to really know they were being directed to a junction. We have a green signal on the right track, which is unusual. There we go. So we're going 25. We're going to go barreling high speed into this. Oh, hello. Guess who that is, ladies and gentlemen? Looks like there's a problem with the train platform 2. Don't let it hold you up any further. That's the Stranraer town train that left the scenario ahead of us. We're going around them. We're going around them, and we have the track. Now, in reality, because trains don't really break down in Train Simulator, what that was a, we must have had a, yeah, there was a shunt signal. What that in reality would have been the train having this as its final destination and stopping here. So that's an AI train that basically did what it was told. It stopped at the station. There's a red signal at the end of the station, so it can't go any further, and there's a problem with it. So we have a green on this platform. We were always intended to go here. This is one reason I tried not to focus on the station too much, because it would have given away the fact that we were going to go through this platform. So, there you go. So we're going to get ourselves back up to 25 now. I'm going to go ahead and move the reverser back up because we need some extra steam generation for this. I'm going to regulate that reverser in some way. Okay, now I'm losing speed, so let's start gaining again. That'll do. Well, a notch more. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, 40 is our speed limit. Let's not speed. Oh no, 60 is. Never mind. I panicked for no reason. 60 is our speed limit. Which in reality probably means 55 because speed limit scripting is in place. So we will do that. By the way, I didn't mention the station that we passed there, by the way. I was talking about Paul Moore, and obviously I didn't talk about the station that we were actually trying to pass, that we actually passed through. We passed through Kirkcowan. Now, something I didn't mention when we left Newton Stewart, there's actually another line that you don't really get to see. It mentions that that it's the Whithorn branch, which probably is correct. That probably was the name of the branch. It's not there anymore, so it probably was. It went through a number of stations, such as Mains of Penninghame, Causeway End, Wigtown, Kirkinner, Wa Uphill, which is one letter different from What Uphill, Sorby, Melissel, and then we cross Melissel Junction with two branches from there, which is typical for a junction to have two branches. We're going to make sure we have brakes applied because we're about to speed, I think. Okay, no brakes yet. We'll hold for a moment. So from Melissel Junction, we had Garleyston on one branch, and then Broughton, Skeog, and Whithorn itself on the other branch. So those are the various stations on the Whithorn branch, and that is not replicated on this route, unlike the Kirkcud, what was it? Okay, I've lost the name of it. I lost the name of the other station, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Kirkcudbright, that's what it was. So unlike Kirkcudbright, we don't have any other. We can get to that station and go those few stations there. And by the way, Kirkcudbright, if I look at the map for that, Kirkcudbright is actually the end of the line. So we actually do get to the end of the line on that route. Whereas we don't get any of the Whithorn branch at all, except that little bit that curves away. So that's it. Meanwhile, we did see Kirkcowan. We're going to be seeing Glenluce, and you can see that our next waypoint is a portal. Well, not a portal. Is Glenluce Platform 2. We're going to go by Platform 2, which means we're going to move to the right again for some reason. So, we're 5 miles away from that. Now I'm going to go ahead and let the speed move up because I'm actually being allowed to do so. Let's let the speed move up for a moment. I'm going to see what happens here. Or the uphill will slow me down. Thank you. Saved by the uphill, ladies and gentlemen. We'll let the speed gain to 56 for just a moment here. We're going to see if anything happens. Nothing yet. Nothing's happening? Okay. Maybe not. I will spoil it on a previous... I did have a previous run already where this did happen, but I had a different mistake happen on that run, so I couldn't proceed. And I actually don't remember what it was now. I think I know what it was. Something got marked incorrectly on the task list. I got an X for something, so I couldn't use that run. But on that run, I did see the scripting happen, and it told me this train speed limit was 55 miles per hour. I'm going to reveal I did know that, because I only saw that when... And here it comes now. We're going to see it now. Because I'm going way too fast. No, I'm not. Maybe it is 60. The message box says it's 55, but maybe it is 60. Maybe we're allowed to go up to 60 for some reason. Well, we're going to know when we see the message at the end of the scenario if we actually broke any rules here. If the engineer doesn't notice, or if the conductor doesn't notice, then we're good. We have 50 coming up anyway, so we're going to definitely make sure... Oh, don't put that much brake on. We're going to make sure we meet the 50 at least. Now you see some smoke there. The first thing you think when you see smoke is that there's a train on the line. Let's see what this is. It's a home. I don't know why someone is in a home with a fireplace going, but they are. Oh, wait, it's a burning barrel. Okay, I know what a burning barrel is. That's fun. So we're now about 2.5 miles from Glenluce. I called it Glenjuice during the first scenario. That is a mistake. Glenjuice is not correct at all. Sounds like something you find in a strip mall. Come get some Glenjuice. Glenn makes it himself. I'm sure that can be taken so many dirty ways, but we're not going to go there. I'm not going to subject you to that kind of humor. So entering a 50 mile per hour segment here. And now I'm speeding. Excellent. We have a 40 coming up, so I want to slow down anyway. Actually, there's 25 coming up, so we're going to be going on the track too. Let's not forget the track 25 is up there. So I'm just doing a gradual slowdown right now. So we met the first speed limit sign. Continue to bring it down a little further here. Back to 35. We're at a good pace for slowing down right now. I'm actually going to ease the brakes off a wee bit. The ground is going to temporarily flatten inside of Glenluce station, so we're going to be taking the brakes off as we get down the hill here. Ease them off a little more because we're getting to the end of our limit here. So we're going to take a look over here for a second since we just went on to the other track. Take your time passing the P-Way team. Give them a whistle. I assume those are the people that Keith worked with when he made this route. Let's go ahead and take a look up ahead. Just to be clear, that signal I passed was green, by the way. And there's the signals coming in the other direction now. So that was the P-Way team, apparently. I gave them some good respect by throwing some snow on them. Did you see that? I just blasted them with snow. They don't mind. They love it. They love having snow blasted on them. It's like the old snowball fight childhood days. Except they can't throw a snowball in a moving train because, you know, that's vandalism. So that was the last station of all the ones that have now been closed because of the lifting of this line. We're going to continue along what remains of the line here until we meet the line coming from Ayr. It might be Ayr. I never know if it's right or not. But I think it's Ayr. Ayr is probably correct. In any case, enough talk about names I don't know how to say properly. We're going to continue. I'm going to just go ahead and keep it at 40 at this point because we're not too far away from Challock Junction. And then right after that, we're going to get to Dunragit anyway. So we're going to go ahead and keep the speed where it is because we're comfortable with this. And upon arrival, we're going to upon arrival, we're going to be doing our creamery work, or at least what we can do from our train. I'm losing a little too much speed now, so let's put a little more on. We do have 50 and 60 speed limits coming up, so we can take advantage of these. The 60 begins at Challock Junction. We did actually take that sign already in the previous scenario. And just note once again, this is the last scenario I'm going to do with the original track that you see in front of us here. So this is the original track. This is what Western Lines of Scotland came with. Apparently the patch that I mentioned in the previous scenario, I think I mentioned it anyway, that patch does substitute track from Vulcan Productions. The Vulcan Productions track, like, what is this? Seriously, what is... Oh, that's a crossing, okay. So the Vulcan Productions track... oh, it's a road crossing, there you go. So the Vulcan Productions track actually is... actually has a little bit of tilting mechanic to it. It actually helps trains going around it. So instead of trains bouncing around in a very bad way, you're going to actually stay smoothly on the track. There's less chance of the train derailing on a curve if it's going at 60 miles per hour, or even faster in some cases if you're accidentally speeding. This is the line from Ayr. Driver, at Dunragit Creamery, you will be routed onto the upline. Please ensure that the rear of your train has cleared the points at Gate 4 to enable you to access the sidings. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and drop my speed a little bit now because I want to have control over when I exactly come to a stop here. So dropping the speed a little early is a good way to get myself back in control. That way I can just apply a little regulator if I'm not ready to stop yet. Look at that nice car in the... there you go. Look at that double-decker bus. There you go. What is that behind it? Oh, a truck. I thought it was a lorry, but I wasn't sure. And we just call them trucks. We use the term for multiple things. A truck can be what you call a lorry in the UK, or it can just be a regular pickup. Which reminds me, I don't know what they call pickup trucks in the UK. Someone feel free to educate me. And don't even get me started on French fries. The only time I use the word chips is when I'm at a restaurant ordering fish and chips. They're still French fries. I'm going to assume the omission of the word French in the UK has something to do with history between the two countries. And they just started calling them chips, and it's really how it's stuck, I guess. I don't even know the origin of French fries, if they came from France or not. Now I want to know. Now I want to answer that question. That's... Oh, we were supposed to request to pass that signal. Whoops. Well, we screwed up. We're going to be tagged as passing that signal of danger. That signal doesn't clear anyway, so that signal actually is an error. There's nothing wrong up here. So just trust that in this case I would have been clear to go. We need to make sure we stop within this area. Are we clear of the points? We are not quite clear of the points. I will have to move up in a moment, because I believe where I need to go is behind me. Like if I go here... Yeah, that's where I'm going. I need to move up just a little more. So we're going to do that in a moment. Let's get back to the front of the train. We're going to eventually move up. So I have to go forward a little more before I can reverse into Creamery Siding 1, because if I check on the map, you get lost. You're going to see I can't go into Creamery Siding 1 yet. So forward we're going to go for a moment. Let's do this too. That'll help. This also allows us to make sure that we can stop wherever we need to on the point and then pull forward to adjust as we need to. So now we can actually go past the point if we want to, and it's perfectly safe because we already made our stop. So now I should be able to back in, and there it is. So I'm not even going to look because I don't think there's anything back there. There shouldn't be. We're backing into the siding with a full train. There shouldn't... Yeah, I'll look. There shouldn't be anything back there. Now, I believe this junction is manual, but we don't care. Yeah, it is manual. We can change it to sign 2 if we want to, but that's not going to serve us well because we can't stop there. And obviously, if we were to try to look forward, there's a red signal up here. There is a green for the siding leaving this siding, which is pointless because we're not going there. So now we're going to put ourselves with a fence between us and the main track. What is with the, I feel like I'm in a disco ball. What is this? What's with the shadows? What is with the shadows on this? I don't think the track pack from VP is going to fix this. We're in a loading zone, by the way. I think this is where you can load some milk cars. That makes sense anyway. This is probably the milk car loading zone. I'm just going to let the train back up completely because why not? I probably could hit the buffer, but I'm not going to take that risk. Hopefully. Good enough. We're done. Let's look at the train. I think we're done anyway. No, we have another stop. We have other stops. Never mind. We're not done. We're done this task. So we have to drop off all of our cars. So which means I'm going to go to the front of the train. I'm going to hit 8. That's not 8. This is 8. And I'm going to go ahead and move all this stuff as soon as I'm given the okay to do so. So here's car number 1. You can see car number 1 is where this starts. So we're going to go ahead and hit the button. There. Well done. Now take the loco down to Stranraer shed for fueling in preparation for its return to Dumfries. If you say so. Now let's go ahead and make sure we're moving forward before I try to move. Otherwise I'm going to recouple the wagons again. Give it a little toot, and off we go. We are now, once again, a single engine, so... oh, we have to go very far still. Okay, this is interesting. Let's not bust 15 too much. How are we doing for our signal situation here? How are we going to get to Stranraer shed? We still have a red up ahead, so I'm not going to... predict anything here yet. That's not our signal. So signal up ahead is going to have to clear for us eventually. I'm speeding badly. I'm no longer speeding badly. Oh, the crossings work! I wondered why the gate was open. The crossings actually work here. I like it. I like it. That's why the signal was red. The crossing was open. I think. No, the crossing is still red. I don't know. Signal is still red. What is going on here? Seriously. That's not what I want to do. Okay, honestly, am I going to have to request to pass the signal too, or is this actually now green? This might actually be green now. No, I passed whatever it was. It's now yellow. I don't get it. It is now yellow. Oh, that's for the other direction. Okay, never mind. That's for the other direction. I get it now. I apparently can't read. Let's do this and centralize our seam a little better. And we just got a 15 on the curve without being told that we were going 15. Excellent. Thanks for telling us we were crossing the junction, dummy. Thanks for telling us we were crossing the junction. Thanks for the information. It would have been very helpful to know that. Can't just tell us that we're going to be going 15 on the junction. I mean, to be fair, there probably was a sign indicating it, but it needs to be on the HUD too. Oh well. We're just heading to Stranraer Harbour Junction Gate now. We're going to accept the fact that we had a couple speeding penalties there. I'm approaching 55. Let's not overdo it. I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to go 75. is another 60 up ahead. I have control over my speed now. We're stopping at Stranraer Harbour Junction Gate after the little bit of lag as Stranraer Town apparently loads in. We're stopping at the Junction Gate and we're going to be going to the shed as instructed, Road 1B. I don't know if it's an automatic thing or if it's going to be, hey, there's the Stranraer to Eyre Yard. So that's an empty poaching stock move. There you go. I guarantee you there are people on there. Guarantee it. So I believe we have Castle Kennedy actually coming up. I said Stranraer Town, but it might be Castle Kennedy that we're passing now. Stranraer Town is not actually on our direct route. Did I pass it already? Where am I? Nope, it's still coming up. There it is. Yeah, just to zoom in and confirm for you, that is Castle Kennedy. There it is. That's our last station before we reach the Stranraer Harbour Junction Gate. We're not going to worry about Stranraer Town, which is going to probably cause another moment of lag right about now. Maybe not, a little later. Actually, probably about the 1.75 area is going to cause a little lag loading it in. I just realized that I have brakes on and my regulator at the same time. What am I doing? I had brakes and regulator on at the same time for some reason there. I know I did that earlier, but I forgot I had that as I was working in the yard. I did it for speed control somewhere earlier too on the downhill. Taking the brakes off now. We'll try to keep a small application of them for right now. That way our speed can keep gradually coming down. There's the lag. It was actually 0.75, not 1.75. We apparently have a red signal up ahead, which doesn't make sense, again, because we have to go beyond this signal. So I'm applying more brakes for now just so we can see what's going on, see if both signals are actually red. I'm going to approach slowly. If they are both red, I am going to have to request a pass to see what happens. A little bit more speed off, please. Oh, no, enough of that, stop. I'm going to move the reverser all the way up now. We're under 15 miles per hour, so I'm going to need the extra power if I need to add speed again. Which I will once I know I can pass the signal. In fact, I can do it now, too. Not sure where the signal's located, probably on the left. So let's zoom in now because we should be in range. We have a green. And the track, as you see, when I zoomed in there, you notice that the camera was wobbling up and down quite a bit. So I think there's actually a problem with the quality of this track. We're going to have to see when I swap into the VP track. We have to see if it's smoother track. I'm actually very curious if it is. Now we want to stop at Stranraer Junction, or Stranraer Harbour Junction Gate 1, which is right there, as you can see. So we're going to apply some brakes right now, heavy brakes, so I can get this... Oh, I'm speeding now. Whoops. Whoopsie. I was trying to brake anyway, so it didn't matter. But that's going to go on the report. Oh, I might actually be stopping in the junction a little early. You know what? I don't know if I trust this very much. I'm going to back up a little bit just to make sure I'm not going forward, starting movement as the train enters the area. So I'm going to back up just a little bit to give me a little room to get some speed on to pull up. I don't trust the junction. I'm going forward. No. Stop. Stop. You know what? I'm in. That'll do. I'm in. That's fine. Stop now. I don't know what's going on anymore, guys. Let's make sure we don't get an X now that we're at the end of our journey, shall we? Let's not get an X today. We're going to stop at Stranraer Shed Road 1B momentarily. Is it set for us yet? We'll find out in a moment. Check that the route is correctly set for Shed Road 1B, I would say. We're going forward here. Okay, we're not going backwards. So where are we going? Oh, we're going there. That's where we're going. There's 1B. We need to get into this route, which means I need to set this junction. See, they tell you to check because it's not set for you. That's why they tell you to check. So I don't need to go reverse. Let's undo that. I just expected to back up somewhere, but I'm not. Now, I do not know what the yard speed is going to be, so I'm not taking any chances here. It could be 15, but it could also be 10. Let's not speed, please. Let's get down to 10, please. Thank you. Let's not put that much brake on, please. I had to request a pass because I just noticed suddenly that it was red. So I got my approval to pass, and I'm good to go. Luckily, I caught that. Stop doing that, please. I'm actually on a downhill right now. That's why I'm gaining a lot of speed. Okay, I see. 20 is the limit here. Now there's a 15. I knew it was going to be at least a 15 or lower. I knew it. But it could have been a 10 for all I knew. I didn't have any idea. Just putting a little burst on because I know I can go at least 10. I don't think it's going to be a 5 limit here. Now the Stranraer Shed Road does not go all the way along, so we are going to actually have to stop well before the buffer. We're not going to be able to drive up to the buffer here. There's some kind of a loading zone here as well. This is for water, so you know what? We're going to stop it right where the water thing is. Why not? Except I'm too far up to get water. We're not going to talk about that. And that's the end of the scenario. Let's look at the train. So that's all 4 of the scenarios I want to show you for right now. I'm going to go ahead and again take a break from this route because everything on this route is a black 5. I kind of figure that'll get boring if I do all 15 scenarios right now, just because it's all really boring at this point when it's all the same train one after another. But next time I come back, we will see the VP track pack here. Let's go ahead and just... by the way, we're not getting told that we sped by the driver, which is interesting. We made it. Fantastic job. I look forward to my next ride. Same message. So that's the script saying that. We were apparently okay despite all those speeding penalties that we should have been, penalized for. We're going to go to the ending screen and see how bad I actually did. But yeah, next time here, we're going to go ahead and have different track. We're going to do another set of Black 5 scenarios. I figure the way to do this is to do maybe 3 scenarios at a time. But I'm going to still bring up Port Road, because there are some Port Road scenarios that use different stock besides the Black 5. They're not the whole Western Lines of Scotland route, but we're going to have Castle Douglas in there and maybe Kirkcowan eventually. Anyway, let's look at the ending screen and see how bad I did on the violations. Yeah, that SPAD was the one time where I knew I was going to have to request a pass because the signals are not... They don't give you the clearance when they should. And that was one that should give me clearance. If I had hit tab, I would have been approved. I'm going to ignore that because technically I can assume I was approved. It should have worked. It's a bug with the signal, and therefore I'm not even going to pay attention to that SPAD because that should have been one that I would have gone through anyway. In any case, speeding 4 times, passenger freight comfort level exceeded less than the other 2 scenarios, which is, I guess, an improvement. And that's that. So I think I'm only showing 2 of the scenarios on here, though I did drive one twice, so because of that error I had. So it's showing 2 hours of time here anyway, which actually makes sense. 2 hours of time makes sense. And we've driven a long distance on this route. So there we go. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first 4 scenarios on the Western Lines of Scotland route completed. You can see I've got my Home for Christmas set up here that I showed you way back in December. Again, I actually filmed these after filming the other 4 because I wanted to show you the VP track pack on the Home for Christmas set, which again took us all the way to Carlisle. And then we have the IR line complete, and we have Ice Cream Man all complete. I have not played anything else in the meantime. We are now back to present day, so those were filmed again back in December. We're now caught back up to the day before. As I'm recording this little outro for you now, this is the day before the updates to Train Sim Classic get pushed out. They're supposed to be pushed out on a Thursday, which is the day I'm showing you this video. So basically, we're going to come back to this route at a later time. You can see more scenarios. Be prepared, Border Hop, Border Raider, and other stuff like that. The scenarios I was hoping to get with the... let's just say I'm still having problems with the extra thing with the Scotsman. I'm still having problems with that. So I've decided I'm going to hold off on what I say is going to be my first video for that because I decided I'm going to push that Flying Scotsman if I do the London to Brighton route. I want to see how London to Brighton performs with the core updates. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that with the core updates in place to see what is improved on that, to see if London to Brighton performs better, to see if it performs worse, to see if it performs exactly the same. I don't know yet. We'll find out. That's probably what I'm going to do first, unless the Centenary local pack shows up and is fixed and is able to be shown before I play that stereo. My goal now, since I know that the background is going to be changing, it does with every release, since I know the background is changing, I can't just tape ahead here. I'm going to be spending all day today, which is the day I'm putting this out, Thursday. I'm going to be spending all day today probably playing some scenarios, and then I'm going to pick something to put out as the first scenario. It's probably going to be whatever I play first. But if I don't have the Centenary local pack ready to go, I'm going to be showing you the Black 5 probably on London to Brighton. That's probably what you're going to get on Friday unless something changes. Right now, because we are in a new release period, I'm kind of in that area where I have to record a bunch of stuff and edit a bunch of stuff. So it's going to be a long day for me tomorrow getting some stuff ready for you here. I hope you enjoyed the last year of Train Simulator Classic content. We're going to have another year or longer coming up here. So let's go to the menu and let's just take one more look at this background, the train background of the trains from the various routes here. Avanti West Coast, which is from West Coast Main Line South. We have the German train, which is from the German route. I think that's the Iced Tea, if I'm not mistaken. And that would have been on the Leipzig route. And I'm trying to remember what the North American route was. It is slipping my mind what the North American route was. I'm going to kick myself because I should know that. I don't know if I drove it yet. I want to say that's Tehachapi Pass. I think that's the Tehachapi Pass publication of that particular Union Pacific train. I think that's what it was. because I know that was in the package as well. So I think that's what it was. Terechapi Pass, West Coast Main Line South, and Leipzig to Dresden. So this is the last time we're going to see this screen, I believe. When we come back on Friday, I'm probably going to have a new screen for you. It will be with a new route package. As I speak, the old route publication, the old route package that includes these 3 routes is now gone. You have to get them individually now. You can still get them, but they're all individual now. If you find a key from Humble Bundle or from someone who resells keys that they picked up, such as from Humble Bundle, then or even gives it away for you, you may be able to get some of those routes for free if you know someone who picked up their routes and gives them away to you. So if you have someone who does that, you can still get them for free. You may be lucky. But other than that, the route package is gone. The new route package coming up tomorrow later today, I should say, is going to feature Long Island Railroad. It's going to feature the Pegnitz Tullbahn, I think is how you say it. I can't remember how you say that off the top of my head, but I know it starts Pegnitz. I think it's Pegnitz Tullbahn. And then the UK route, of course, is the Huddersfield line. That's the package you're going to be able to pick up later today. Look forward to it. In the meantime, I'm going to try and come back to you with some some Flying Scotsman action, either with a Centenary pack or with probably a London to Brighton Snarrow, maybe a Great Western Main Line Snarrow if I have to extend that. But I am going to also try to show you some more Pegnitz Tullbahn as well, because I have 4 Snarrows left to do on there. And we have to do a test to see, and I may or may not air this test, but I have to do a test of Long Island Railroad to see if the route performs any better in the new core, because I know that the quick drive was especially slow, especially in the Jamaica area. So I've got some things to look into here, but let's look forward to the new release later today. Stay tuned for that. I'm Cyclone. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night. I'll see you in Train Sim Classic version 2, I guess, starting on Friday, most likely. See you then. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.